about the people involved? The sources mention several facilitators and experts. Their backgrounds seem to line up with that blend of approaches you talked about earlier: spiritual, therapeutic, practical.
They really do. So first, the sources describe Dimitri and Andrea. They're presented as embodying bold love in action and intentional. Dimitri's described as a coach, focusing on supporting men, founded something called Mountain of Inspiration. And Andrea, she's described as an accomplished psychotherapist and relationship expert, founder of Legacy Moments Academy.
And the material highlights her specific approach, a signature therapeutic framework. It says it bridges things like faith, culture, trauma, and relationship cycles.
Yeah, that suggests a really deep look at how our past, our background, all of that influences how we actually show up in our marriage,
Mhm.
right? And she's apparently worked with couples for over 2 decades, so there's real clinical depth there.
Okay, who else?
Then there are Charles and Mary Horton. The sources describe them as practical, engaging, and fun. They founded Mission Possible Marriage Ministry.
Practical, engaging, and fun. I like that combo. And they have a quote in the material that really jumped out at me. Marriage takes work. There's more to it than being in love.
Yes. That kind of sums up that need for tools and being intentional, doesn't it?
It really does. The sources also mentioned they're certified in Symbiose assessments.
Right, yeah. That's often used for premarital counseling and marriage guidance. Helps couples understand personality styles, dynamics.
And also the Marriage on the Rock curriculum. That's a pretty well-known program, isn't it? Focused on foundational biblical principles for marriage.
That's right. And then we also see Dion Campbell mentioned. He's noted as a powerful apostolic voice and an award-winning leader.
And his background seems unique, too. The sources highlight this blend of leading a church and serving as a chief of police.
Yeah, that bivocational thing. It suggests a perspective that integrates, spiritual guidance with very real-world, community-level challenges.
And he and his wife, LaRonda, they're also certified instructors in that same Marriage on the Rock curriculum, which shows that commitment to teaching those principles. The sources also mention Dion's passion for manhood development.
Which suggests maybe an understanding of specific challenges men might face in relationships and life.
Okay. Then there's Dr. Kenneth Taylor.
Yes. The sources present him as having, wow, over 40 years in therapeutic intervention. His background seems to bridge academic psychology, mentioning places like Notre Dame and Memphis, and even insights from, sports analysis.
Sports analysis. Interesting angle.
Yeah, it suggests maybe someone who can look at human dynamics from a lot of different angles, applying therapeutic ideas with a pretty broad perspective.
Wait, who else is on the list?
Lawrence and Jalissa Reynolds. The sources call him a passionate duo dedicated to helping couples deepen their connection through vulnerability.
Vulnerability, key word there.
Definitely. Jalissa is a licensed therapist, expertise in emotional intimacy, communication, and Lawrence is described as a celebrity chef and relationship expert, bringing real-life insight.
A celebrity chef. Okay, that's another interesting blend.
Right. It kind of highlights how maybe professional therapeutic knowledge, like Jalissa brings, can mix with practical, relatable experience. Maybe showing how intentional connection can even happen in everyday things, like cooking together, while she brings the clinical understanding of why vulnerability is so crucial.
I can see that. And finally,
Michelle Fraser is mentioned. Her focus, according to the sources, is on restoring the sanctity of marriage by empowering family unit healing through marriage and family counseling.
restoring sanctity, empowering family unit healing.
Okay. Yeah, she's an associate pastor, background in psychology, so emphasizing a faith-based approach to counseling and healing within the whole family system.
Wow. So looking at all these individuals the sources lay out, you've got licensed therapists, clinical experts who are bridging faith and trauma, then coaches focusing on practical action steps, ministry leaders grounded in specific biblical teaching, people with deep real-world community experience.
Yeah, it really shows how they embody that blend they promise, doesn't it? It's not just one perspective or one school of thought. It seems like a deliberate, multifaceted approach trying to meet couples wherever they are with a diverse set of tools.
It really seems like the sources are pushing this idea that maybe no single viewpoint has all the answers for marriage.
Exactly.
And that drawing from, spiritual wisdom and therapeutic understanding and just practical skills, all of that is pretty essential for building a strong, resilient marriage, especially today.
Absolutely. It really underscores that journey towards more in marriage probably requires different kinds of support, different kinds of knowledge along the way.
So wrapping this up,
Yeah.
what does this all mean? After digging through all this material you shared about the To Love and to Heal retreat, this central theme really pops out, doesn't it?